Hey guys, this is Movie Court, episode 3.
Yeah, it's the third episode, right?
Third episode.
I blanked out on what episode this was.
I know. This time it's gonna be on a timely schedule. We're not gonna release it a week late like the last or hour late it was.
That's my bad.
No problem. But so here we are. You notice we're missing someone. We're missing Josh. It seems to be our thing. It's usually just 2 at a time now.
Yeah. Every video we make, it's and it seems like I'm in all of the videos.
It's almost as if you're the
wow.
Yeah,
I'm the glue that holds us all together.
You're the glue, buddy. Josh did a big run this morning and he didn't get any sleep last night, so yeah, didn't show up. I mean, we talked to him. It's not like he didn't tell us.
It was.
So it's just gonna be the two of us today talking about some movies.
Talking about some movies.
You guys, they've been seeing a lot more movies than I have. Yeah. I just saw Dunkirk 3 times and they saw other shit.
Yeah. No. So if you guys haven't already, we just posted an Emoji Movie review experience video.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that, go check that one out. It's
pretty good. The editing's pretty tight.
Yeah, I did the editing. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah. So I think it's a good one.
That's good. Transition into this isn't a podcast, but we just want to mention this just because it just happened last
it
night.
just happened. I got out of a movie that I'm also going to talk about in this video, and it looks like Anna Faris and Chris Pratt have decided to separate, which is sad.
It's very sad. They seem like a very happy couple. They seem the ones actually seem like
and
all right, you know?
And they have a son together. So I guess that's just it's just unfortunate, but so I guess we hope for their happiness and their separate ventures. And
this is hard. This is more hardcore, or not hardcore. This is more surprising than like a Brangelina.
I would agree with you. So we just kind of wanted to transition because Anna Faris was in an Emoji Movie and just
that's why they
felt
divorced.
Natural. Yes.
Wait, you made that movie? I'm out of here.
But he made Passengers, so
Passengers got an Oscar nomination.
True enough.
If Emoji Movie gets an Oscar nomination, maybe he'll take her back.
No, but anyway, we hope for their happiness, and that's a sad one. With that being said, let's just jump right into the movies. Last night, I went to go see Girls Trip, which is it's a strong comedy. You know, it does keep you laughing for a good majority of the movie. It was like
when I saw the trailers, I thought, oh, this is just a copy of Rough Night almost, like minus the murder.
I never saw Rough Night,
but like that's the way it seemed like that it was trying to be that, like it's just all the girls getting together after it's been so long, like.
Yeah, I mean,
did it feel like the formulaic kind of thing, or?
I guess to me it felt more like a Bridesmaids without the wedding.
Okay,
And so yeah, I mean, I guess it's, it's an all-female movie. They went to Louisiana they went to New Orleans for a festival where the main character, Regina Hall is the actress. Her name is Ryan Pierce, was the keynote speaker, and she was very successful. And then Queen Latifah's character, Sasha.
Good to see her again.
I'm glad to see her Queen Latifah's she's good in this movie too.
I'm glad to see her back. I don't know why she left for a little bit.
Yeah, no, me either. But so she plays. So Sasha, Queen Latifah's character, plays this kind of TMZ shit stir blogger, and then Jada Pinkett Smith plays a very sheltered, single mom.
So you kind of got all your archetypes.
Yeah, and then you have the
play off each other.
The wild one with Tiffany Haddish, who stole the show. She's incredible. Tiffany Haddish of Gerard of the Carmichael Show.
Love that show.
And she was really awesome. She's super funny, and the movie's funny. I mean, it gets very cliche towards the end,
of course,
and you know what's gonna happen. But I mean, the process and the writing is strong.
Does it give you like what you went in?
Yeah, I mean, my expectations were low. I mean, I wasn't expecting an amazing Oscar-winning performance from Girls Trip. Yeah. But it's good. I mean, Mike Coulter, Luke Cage plays Regina Hall's husband, and some drama goes down with him. And
I saw that in the trailer. Yeah.
And that's written relatively well. And the acting is good. I mean, again, it's pretty much exactly what you expect out of a movie like that.
So you get what you're going in for.
You get exactly what you're going in for. Between just a girl comedy, and it works. So
it's like a. So would you say it's kind of like a knockoff Bridesmaids in just the formula of it?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, there is definitely a part, and it's in the trailer. Where Jada Pinkett Smith has to zip line from one building to another, and she really has to pee. And she gets stuck halfway and pees all over everybody in the middle of the street, which to me is a pretty direct rip-off of when they're all trying on bridesmaid dresses and they have food poisoning and they shit in the middle of the street.
But it
works, and it was funny. Okay. My dad and I were laughing so hard, and it's enjoyable, it's funny, it's cliche, and it's 32 minutes. It's 30 minutes too long.
Arbitrary grading.
A solid B-.
B-. I mean, that's what it's going for.
I mean, I'm not going to give it a B+. I'm not going to give it an A, but I'm not going to give it like an F.
That's a good score.
It's a good movie if you have nothing else to do and you just want to laugh for an hour or for 2 hours.
Nice.
Really raunchy. Again, Tiffany Haddish steals the show. She's great. Another movie I saw this weekend. I feel like I'm going to talk a lot because I saw more movies than you. But
I didn't see it yet. I almost got into the same screening he got into with the whole cast and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't make it in.
So I was actually editing the Emoji Movie video Saturday, and my dad runs into this room and he's like, there's a screening with the cast and crew of Detroit. Let's go. It's in the Valley, so I just finished editing, which was amazing timing. So boom, hit, publish, blah blah blah, and we went out. We went to go see Detroit with post screening guests Algie Smith, Anthony Mackie, John Boyega, Will Poulter, Mark Bull, and Catherine Bigelow. Nice. But that's a different story. The Q&A is a different story. The movie is intense. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's an amazing piece of cinema, an amazing story, and amazing storytelling. It's a long movie. It's actually, my experience with it was I felt it was really long when it's a 2-hour 15-minute movie.
Okay, that's not that.
It's not terrible, but to me, like, I'm watching this movie, I'm so captured by it, and I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm thinking, this movie is like 3 hours. That's how it felt. Like, in my mind, I'm like,
well, because it's almost like does it make you feel like you're in it too? Like,
it's super immersive. Oh. The story about it, if you guys don't know, is 1967. Riots began in Detroit after an unlicensed nightclub was busted by the police, and 30-something African Americans were thrown in jail.
Jeez.
And then just huge riots around the city of Detroit. And so while that's happening, there is an incident at a motel in Detroit called the Algiers Motel. I don't want to spoil anything, but so just the setting is Detroit, and it really gets intense when you reach the Algiers Motel, where several African American men are hanging out in a hotel, and there subsequently is 2 white women also in the motel. So things get a little messy, and it's so immersive and so intense, and the acting is incredible. You were telling me Will Poulter. My dad and I have both agreed that Will Poulter deserves at least a nomination for his role as the best actor. Because
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it, but
I mean, I was jaw on the floor. I was scared. I was like, oh my god.
Was a cop?
Yeah, he was a cop. Okay. Will Poulter's a cop. And so the acting is incredible. Algie Smith, who I haven't really seen a lot of, I didn't know about him until after this movie. Plays as a singer in a doo-wop tiny band, in a Motown doo-wop band, and he finds himself kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
And he's amazing. And then John Boyega, also kind of finds himself at the wrong place at the wrong time.
He's a security guard?
Yeah, he's a security guard, and he's looking after a grocery store in the middle of the night, when the incident happens, and finds himself having to go into the motel. So the story of the movie is incredible. Catherine Bigelow directed an amazing movie.
Does it kind of feel like what Herlocker and Zodiac 30 did, where it's like, you know, like the camera's moving a lot, it's kind of shaky?
Yes, it's definitely a Catherine Bigelow film in that sense. The camera's shaky, it zooms in a lot on people's faces.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like a documentary without being a documentary.
She kind of, with Herlocker kind of sparked that whole thing now.
Yeah, and then again, her partner, business partner, Mark Bull, wrote it, and he talked a little bit about the writing process and how he was able to interview a lot of the living members of the incident to get a more real story out of it. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the incident has been swept under the rug. You know, you don't hear about it a lot.
Right, and I didn't even know about it before the movie came out. Yeah.
So really, really intense film. I'm not gonna say it's hard to watch, because like that's not what it is. Mm-hmm. But it's just like
the mood, the feeling you get.
Yeah, the feeling you get after you're just kind of speechless, and you're just like, wow, it's really breathtaking. And if I were to put an arbitrary letter on it, I would definitely give it an A.
An A? Solid A?
Yeah, a solid A. Nice. Again, the acting is just there, the writing is there, the directing is there, the cinematography is there, the sound editing, blah, blah. The music is great. There's a great end credit song that I believe will definitely win Best Original Song.
For sure win.
I mean...
Alright, who made it? Who did it?
The Roots and an artist by the name of Bilal.
Dude, if the Roots won an Oscar, I would be amazed. Because first of all, they have to give out like 11 awards to all the people.
Yeah, so the song at the end, it kind of mimics Glory, in the way, in the subject matter of the song, but it's it hits. It's a good melody. You're bumping your head a little bit, and then you're like, then you listen to the lyrics, and you're like, wow, that's great.
And then you want to talk about the Q&A?
Yeah, that's what. So the Q&A was kind of atrocious, which sucks to say because it was a, and it's nothing about the actors or Catherine Bigelow.
Hit or miss with the moderators.
And the moderator was not good. Like I don't like bashing, but you could tell everybody on the panel was visibly like taken,
awkward,
just like awkward, and it wasn't a good panel, and it sucks because
the panel was good. You mean the
I mean it wasn't a good Q&A
yeah.
because the moderator was bad, but the panel was so good. I mean you have great people and all the four big stars of the movie on your stage, and the writer and the director, and yet you get a moderator who doesn't really ask a question. She really just said a statement about what she felt during the movie, and then was like, well, talk about why I felt this way. And it was like, well, how can we like she
give an example.
She once asked Cass, she talked about it. She was like, my husband saw this movie this morning and was breathtaking and it was speechless, and everybody, like, there was a really awkward pause, and everybody was like, okay, like, cool, glad your husband liked it. And she was like, Catherine, talk about it. And then Catherine was like, was like what? And also there was one where she mentioned the green lighting process of the movie.
Okay.
And she was like, so how does a movie like this get greenlit?
Well.
And it was like, well, if somebody gets attached to a story,
you're Catherine Bigelow, you're not really gonna have that much trouble getting
exactly. And then she said like, and then she asked the audience, she was like, oh, you guys know how much money was put on the table for this movie?
No, of course not.
And everybody was like, no.
Why would they?
And Catherine Bigelow was so taken aback. I mean, I looked at her for her reaction to this question, and she was just like, what are you talking about? Like, why? Like, that doesn't matter. Like, they saw this movie. It doesn't matter how much
talk about the movie
we were given to make the movie.
Yeah.
And then so like, she was just bad, and she did this weird, like, question and answer thing with the audience, where she was like, she went down the line of the actors and was like, how many of you guys empathized with Anthony Mackie's character? and everybody was like, nobody like really raised.
Was she setting up like one of those test screenings where they got to see how people like the movie? Like,
that's
like
what it felt.
Do you like that? Oh,
that's what it felt. But like the movie's done, it's out.
Right, it's out.
And so it's like really really bad because like nobody really raised their hand at first because they were like, what kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Like of course we empathized with his character. Yeah. He acted it well. He was an amazing character. He was an amazing actor, and like he's an African American getting brutally disrespected.
I want to see a moderator be like, who here hated Anthony Mackie's character? Raise your hand if you hated it, and like raise your hand and everyone shits on him while he's there.
Yeah, I mean, but then so at one point like the crew like bantered because like nobody really raised their hand, and Algie Smith was like, really, nobody like empathized, and like then people like started to raise their hand, and then she went down the whole line and was like, how many of you guys empathize with Algie Smith's character? And so then like everybody was like, okay, we get the hang of this. So a lot of people raised their hand, and then they put down their hands, and we all thought that she was going to move on to Will Poulter's character. And then she was like, nobody empathized with Algie Smith, and we were like, what? We all just raised our hands. And then she was like, oh, she was bad. And then she was like, Will Poulter, who played the bad cop. And everybody was like,
empathize with him.
And everybody was like, no, we don't empathize. Like, what? And then
but there's that one guy in the back that raised his hand.
And then like you could tell she wanted to ask Anthony Mackie and John Boyega about Marvel and Star Wars.
Of course.
And because biggest franchises, you know.
And you got him there, but like that's not the movie. That's not the movie.
But like so she asked John Boyega. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about before we go on. But she asked she asked John Boyega and was like you know, how do you get attached to a project like this? Which is a terrible question to ask.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he kind of said like, oh, well, the story is so much bigger than all of us, you know, which is a pretty generic answer. And then he goes like, I also wanted to take a break from the biggest franchise in the world.
Right, of course.
And I didn't want to wait for the trilogy to be done to do something that's so important to me. And she was dissatisfied with that answer. Like, she wanted him to talk more about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is like, I didn't want him to talk about Star Wars. I didn't want Anthony Mackie to talk about Infinity War. I just saw Detroit. I don't care about those movies.
Yeah.
So she was just bad. I'm not gonna give a name for her because she doesn't deserve. I mean,
you don't want to.
But she was just
sad. So sorry about that. But the movie was good.
But the movie was great. Definitely a solid A.
All right, now we're gonna move on. This is the one I saw 3 times. You saw it twice. I saw it twice in 70mm, which the second time I saw it in 70mm, didn't realize it was 70, and that was awesome. And then I just saw it once normally. Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. Wow, what a movie. What a movie.
So good. I had to see it 3 times because every time I was like, don't know if this is my favorite of the year. Mm-hmm. Because it's so hard to say that. Like, you can't think, like the first time you see it, you gotta be like, no, it couldn't have been that good. It couldn't have been that good. I gotta see it again.
Yeah.
And then you see it again, and you're like, no, wait, no, it still can't be.
It still can't be that good,
right? But because I saw Get Out. Get Out has been like the best movie of the year so far for me. Mm-hmm. You know, bought it on Blu-ray, watched it a bunch, love that movie. And after seeing it 2 nights ago,
Get Out or Dunkirk? Okay.
I was like, you know what? This is it. This is the one. Dunkirk is like the best of the year for sure.
It's definitely my top 3. I saw it twice.
Yeah.
First time, blown away. I mean, like, again, another feeling of how I felt with Detroit. I mean, I edge of my seat, hand over my mouth, like,
just amazing.
What's gonna happen? You know, the action was intense. There wasn't
the special effects. Just
everything.
There was almost zero CGI. Almost zero.
Yeah.
There was a couple things they had to do CGI, but like, just everything was so real, and like ships blowing up and like people flying shit, all real, and it makes it that much more like intense because like you know it's actually happening. It's not some CG bullshit.
No.
And then also the sound design.
Incredible. The sound editing, the sound mixing, the sound design.
The sound of the planes coming down because the movie's about, of course, Dunkirk Beach, and like they're getting bombed. They have to get the guys off the beach
and
before
they sit down and die.
You see it from the land, you see it from the air, you see it from the sea, from the civilians that were coming to get them off the beach. But every time the planes come back, you know, the German planes, for another round of bombing, you just hear this slight like hum that then grows louder and louder to this like screeching horrific noise that like I can't describe it, but
it's beautiful and horrific and scary.
It'll become iconic for like just how specific, you know, like that sound is just like pure terror and dread, and like every time you heard it, it's just like it made my ears like explode, but like not with
like bleed with excitement.
Excitement, exactly. Like it was just amazing. The sound design
is incredible. The score is incredible. I almost just jumped right into
because the score almost never ends. Like and not in a bad way.
Because
it works like it's almost like it almost works like it's sound design, like it's in the background speaking through. And that's what's great about Hans Zimmer is like his scores have now gone past like being scores where like you get John Williams, like you have themes, you have melodies and stuff. Now it's like textual.
It's a continuous
thing.
And
there's this whole thing with the clicking watch where like it keeps ticking the entire movie until the very end. And like there's times where it fades down, but it's still there at the bottom, and like stuff like that. It's just like it's so cool. It goes beyond music. It's not even music anymore.
No, I agree. I mean, because it just works with the movie in such beautiful harmony that it's beautiful. I mean, Christopher Nolan.
This is his year, man. This is his Oscar.
Wrote and directed this movie, and it is
he commands it.
The cinematography and then the directing is just
all 70 millimeters come back. Man, I love it.
Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. You know, like
just the way he commands these 1,500 extras, and he's just working it like David Lean, like one of the masters that's known for these humongous shots of all these characters. Like Christopher Nolan's up there with him of just how he commands this movie, and like he knows everything so well. And like the best part is, I'll say the spoilers of kind of not really spoilers because it's a true story, but the way the plot evolves, I'll say till after. But just like, you know, at first you think it's going to be a simple story. You know, one of the great things about the script is that there's almost no dialogue. There is dialogue, but like it's
but it's very seldom dialogue.
Especially
and then when people talk, like when Kenneth Branagh came on screen to talk,
it's important.
Like you knew that dialogue was going to be slimmed down.
Yeah, and also what's great is like that makes the dialogue that's spoken that much more important, and it's and like
so much more, and also so much more potent. I mean, like you get scenes where Harry Styles and that group of people
who actually did an amazing, he did a great job for what I thought he was going to do.
Yeah, me too. He surprised me.
He sold it,
and then he was great. Oscar-winning performance.
No, but good. It was
good performance. And
I would like to see him in more movies.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. But I mean, in that scene where when they first get saved and they first get put on the boat before the torpedo comes, and he goes and it's very quiet and they're just all looking around and he goes, "So what's the deal with your friend?"
Yeah, like
and then
there's no talking. Like there's moments where like they just that one question or something like because no one talks.
And that relates to the whole scene.
It's great because also like. What Nolan did, which was great, was just, with the dialogue and stuff, he didn't do what something like maybe Hacksaw Ridge, which I thought was really great for the war stuff, like the early stuff I didn't like, but where, you have these people on the battlefield and there's actual scenes on the ridge where, like, they're talking and they're talking about, their lives back home or, like, what they're going to do, typical war movie stuff where they're talking about their lives. This has none of that. No one... in war is going to be like, hey, what's your name? What's your backstory?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me this and that. Oh, let's joke around and stuff while we're in the middle of battle. No. So no one talks. You never learn anyone's names.
And it's just intense.
And Harry Styles and the guy we start with, I don't remember the actor's name, but them meeting, they aren't friends at first. They just meet and they start kind of walking the same way, and that's just kind of how they keep following each other.
Well, because it's just like, then it's like, at that point, they're on the beaches and it's like, I want to surround myself with people that we're either going to survive together or die together.
Exactly.
It's fight or flight.
It's just incredible. And, like, it gets past... So, like, the only downside of the movie is that there isn't great character development. But like, also, like... Almost, I don't want to say it's purposeful. You can't never have character development. But it is...
But, I mean, there also is character development for characters that need it. I mean, Mark Rylance needed character development.
You still get characters like...
Kenneth Branagh needed character development. I mean, he was Navy colonel, blah blah, trying to just.
But with the soldiers, it almost represents how they're all almost indistinguishable faces.
They were just kind of a number.
Every soldier is black hair, brown eyes, same kind of cut jawline. They all look the same, and that was purposeful because like it is how all these soldiers are just the same. And they're you said a number, and like they're just trying to get these masses onto these boats. They're not trying to get individuals.
No, and then also like. Churchill just wanted them home to use them again.
Yeah, this wasn't to take them home and you're done with the war. This was the beginning of the war.
This was, there's still threats from Germany,
just
but we need to get you out of Dunkirk so you can go right back in for another battle.
For us, fight for us, basically.
So that's the thing.
It's great.
And I mean, talk about that end scene where Harry Styles and the actor are on the train and the actor.
Okay, we're gonna get exposed now.
And he's just reading the speech from Churchill.
Yeah, about wars aren't won by evacuations.
Yeah.
And so what's great is like this whole thing where like Harry Styles is thinking, okay, they're gonna hate us when we come back because
we're deserters.
We're deserters. But they come back, and he starts that speech, and Harry Styles is like looking down, doesn't want to look at the people coming up, and then it reveals like everyone's there to they're giving them beer, they're giving them fruit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they aren't there wasn't a victory, but now they're home to do the real work.
Yeah.
Which is why everyone's celebrating because they got him home. Yeah. Now they can continue to fight. Which is great. We're in spoilers now, so we can talk about the cross-cutting storylines, which is really cool.
Well, okay, I want to ask you, did you cry?
I don't cry at movies. I am the worst at that. I felt like crying. I'll say that. But because the great thing about the movie is you have the mole, which is the land, you have the sea, and you have the air. Now you're told,
and I love that it breaks it up into three parts right off the rip.
3 different kind of main characters
right off the bat. Chris Nolan.
But also, what's great is
Tom Hardy, Mark Rylance, the soldiers.
Yeah, the soldiers. But what's great is like on the mole it says the mole 1 week, the sea 1 day, the air 1 hour, and at first you don't know what that means, and then you realize these 3 stories are going on at different times. So the mole it says 1 week, but really takes place over 2.5 days or so. And so that's over 2.5 days. The sea part is over 1 whole day because it took them a whole day to get onto the beach.
Yeah.
The civilians, and then the air is 1 hour because, the pilots they had I don't know how many gallons they had of gasoline, or fuel. They could only be in the air for 1 hour.
Yeah.
So that whole thing takes 1 hour, and so you notice it first when it starts to become nighttime for the soldiers.
For the soldiers,
but still daytime on the sea, and you're like, what? What's going on? Mm-hmm. And you'll notice you'll see the planes flying over, and you'll see this boat, and then later on you see the boat again. You're like, oh, it's the same scene. And so what you think is
like when the other fighter pilot lands, and then you see Mark Rylance's boat coming towards it.
Yeah, and you don't know.
Then the scene ends, and then you're like,
you come back 20 minutes later. Yeah.
Then it's the same person. What? It's the same plane.
And so it's like because I feel like Christopher Nolan can't help himself from doing that.
Doing that trippy
stuff. Because even though he said, he comes off this movie from Interstellar, which is so
never seen it.
Intense, not intense, but it's like 2 hours, 45 minutes, all of this science mumbo jumbo, all this crazy stuff, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna strip it back.
Yeah.
But he can't help himself, so he has to do the.
But that's his style.
That's his style. No, and it works. It works so well, and it took me 2 times to really understand exactly what happened. But there are no plot holes. There are no holes on when things are timed out.
Because
everything makes sense.
Because he answers every question that you could possibly have about a war movie.
I think my favorite section was the air fight, just because
all those scenes are beautiful.
It is the most accurate dog fight I've ever seen in any movie. It just feels so real, and you feel like you're in there. And they were really flying the planes. And my favorite thing is Tom Hardy has less than 10 lines of dialogue, but he might have been my favorite character.
I'm pretty sure that's more than MC Ren from Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, that's true. But he's my favorite character because he has this moment where, he only has 15 gallons left. He needs to turn back, otherwise he's not going to be able to get home. And he's just there, and he sees that there's this big plane coming in that's going to drop
a bomb plane.
A bomb plane that's going to drop him. And he just has that moment where he's like, and it's all because, his entire face is covered up, so it's all in his eyes. Mm-hmm. And it's just, he has that moment where his eyes just do that shake, and then he goes for it. He knows that he's going to risk his life. He's going to, he knows he's probably going to die because he's not going to get back home and fire him. And that's just stuff like that with no dialogue. And I don't think it would have worked the same if each scene happened on its own, because you need to see what's going on down below with the mole and everything to then appreciate why he's gonna go for them and to save them and stuff.
And then also just a testament to how kind of every soldier was somewhat connected. You see the one of the fighter pilots that fell and is now on Mark Rylance's boat sees Tom Hardy fighting that plane, and he goes, "Come on,
do it!
Come on, you got it!" And then talk about Tom Hardy running out of fuel, but then still getting that guy who's gonna bomb the mole, and everybody's just
he gets the worst ending because he gets caught by the Germans in the end.
But it's also the most the best ending.
Yeah, no, because he
risked his life.
I know, and he hears all the cheers and everyone.
And he's
for it.
and he saved thousands of people.
Yeah, it's incredible. That the movie's just so great, and you know, another thing with
we could have done a whole movie court on.
We could have done an entire thing on this, but like also one of the things that's great about the movie is with Mark Rylance's whole thing, you get this amazing thing about what's the actor? He played
I know you're talking about.
Who did he play in Batman Begins? Oh my God, Scarecrow. The guy that played Scarecrow.
Yeah.
He plays a shell shock. I couldn't say it. But you get this whole thing with Mark Rylance about, you know, why are the civilians going, you know, to Dunkirk? Like, they should be going home. Like the guy says, like, you should be going home. You're weekend
sailors. I'm not
sailors.
going back. Yeah.
And the guy and
this is a weekend yacht. Your weekend sailors.
Like, what are you guys doing? And it just shows, you know, like, it's these civilians that didn't really know what they're doing. I mean, he says that his son was in the Air Force and maybe he had served in World War I or something, but like, it's these civilians that don't really know what they're doing. They're sending their boats onto Dunkirk.
But it's a sense of nationalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just like...
There's this great moment with Kenneth Branagh where he sees all of these civilians, these boats coming.
No, that's another thing I want to talk about. It's just like, you know, the whole time in the movie, he's like, I can almost see it.
Yeah, you can almost see home.
I
It's
see
right
the mountains.
there.
And then you see him looking at the binoculars, and the guy goes,
"What do you see?"
What do you see? And he goes, "Home." And then,
at
God,
first
chills.
You get that feeling like, oh, that's so cheesy. But if you just like, if you let it be, like, you appreciate it, because that movie is.
Look, he's in the most terrible position.
And it's just
he's landlocked.
It's like God coming towards him, like it's our savior. No, and that's
that part made me cry.
I don't cry in movies. It sucks.
I know.
Christopher Nolan, it shows that this movie is really a love letter to England and you know his home country, and you just feel it the whole way through, and it's just so great. I just love that movie so much. And the only thing I'd say was a downside is just the character development, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it because we do get character development, and sometimes that we don't get character development, it's for a good reason.
Yeah. Whereas
some other films that I've said like, oh, it sucks because there isn't character development, there wasn't a good reason for it. Sometimes there's a good reason not to develop a character so much, and I felt it worked here. So I would say arbitrary
letter grade. Oh gosh, A+.
It's an A+.
It's
best
an A+.
movie year. Oh, I've only given like I think 2 or 3 movies this year A+. And
that's Get Out,
this, and then Raw. That foreign film I saw. Oh, Raw was so great. But
and that
about
wraps up a Movie Court episode 3.
Yeah.
We hope you guys enjoyed, and it was a more stripped down episode.
Yeah.
Sorry
with the audio too.
Yeah, the audio.
The mic here.
We don't have the mic, so we used the open season snow globe.
Yeah, instead in place, but we have a mic on the camera there. So that's what we're using.
So yeah, so hopefully the audio turns out well.
So go see Get Out.
Go see Detroit. Go see Dunkirk. If you want to laugh for a good couple of hours, go see Girls Trip.
Yeah.
It's a good year for movies.
Yeah, it's been a really good year.
So I wanna end this by. I mean, you just said your top 3 of the year: Raw, Get Out, Dunkirk.
It's Dunkirk, then Get Out, then Raw.
I'm gonna leave this video by asking you with my top 3 of the year, and then asking you guys what's your top 3 of the year, which you guys can leave in the comments below, or tweet us, or comment on our Instagram.
Click the little bell so you get notifications whenever we have a video
click the bell. Contact us, anywhere in the comments or on Twitter and Instagram at JLNerdHerd. My top 3 of the year, in no particular order, are Dunkirk, Detroit, and a tie for 3rd between Get Out and War for the Planet of the Apes.
I knew you were gonna put that on there. Yeah.
So again, it's a good year. So let us know what your guys' top 3 is, and
talk with us.
Talk with us. Yeah. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Just communicate, because we love you, and we love doing this. I just want to point out that there might be a lull in content for the next couple of weeks because
school's coming up.
Because school's getting back in, and I don't know how much free time all 3 of us are gonna have, but we're gonna try. So if there is no content for the next coming weeks, don't be alarmed. We're not done with this. This isn't just a summer thing.
It's an unfortunate break.
So thanks for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.